Hello to all my Lacomies homies out there who are learning online. Welcome to your first day of learning from home. I hope that you are well set up and that you're going to be able to take in this video from home. So, if you were in class last week, you already learned a little bit about UNESCO. However, there's still more to learn today. If you were not in class, well, UNESCO is this organization that is created by the United Nations that focuses on things such as science, education, and culture. And UNESCO's creation goes all the way back to 1945, the same year that the UN was created itself. And as we talked about in class, this was a time where the most powerful European nations of the world were involved in imperialism. They were involved in colonialism. And for the most part, there was not much respect for the indigenous cultures and the indigenous civilizations that they had colonized. And with UNESCO, there was the promotion of valuing these cultures and valuing the different parts of the world and coming to understand that there's a lot of importance and there's a lot of value in all sorts of cultures from all parts of the world. All right, so here we go. So it works to create respect for the value and dignity of all civilizations and cultures. All right. Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you that the color that you need to write down for this little video is red. Okay. All right, so everything that's written in red, put that in your notes. Okay, so UNESCO promotes this idea that as humans, we all have the same heritage, right? The word heritage means history, right? So according to UNESCO, all humans have the same history, right? So instead of thinking about different nations of the world having their own distinct histories, UNESCO tries to promote this idea that we're all humans. So if you go back far enough, we all have the same ancestors. We all have the same roots. So for example, you can take a look at this this map, and this map might look a little bit backwards to you because you're used to seeing the Americas on the left side of the map, and you're used to seeing Africa, Europe, and Asia plus Australia on the right side of the map. However, for the purposes of this map, it's easier to look to look at it the other way around. So if you go back far enough, if you go back about 200,000 years, the human species first evolved in East Africa. Okay, so over here in Eastern Africa, that's where the first modern humans appeared, right? And of course, we didn't just appear out of nowhere. We evolved from other species, right? And so we lived for a very, very long time just here in Eastern Africa as humans. There were other species of humans who were also living in other parts of Africa and Europe and Asia, and also down here in Southern Asia. However, about 70,000 years ago, Homo sapiens, our species of human, we left Africa, right? We developed what we call modern human behaviors and modern human cognitive functions, right? So our brains, there's some type of change that happened in our brains where we then became as intelligent as we are today, right? And so anyway, these first Homo sapiens left Eastern Africa, made their way into the Middle East and into Europe and into Asia. And about 65,000 years ago, they made their way down through South Asia and eventually made their way into Australia, and they populated Australia. And then more recently, humans made their way from Eastern Asia, over here, from Eastern Siberia, across into North America, and then all the way down through Central America, down into South America, right? And so the people that made their way into the Americas, well, they became the indigenous peoples of the Americas, right? And so if you think about it this way, right, now that we understand our history as a species, it's easy to think about, humans having not so many divisions between us, and having this idea that we all share the same history in some way, right? If we go back far enough, all of our ancestors, are from Eastern Africa, right? Our species all originated in this one part of the world, and then we spread out to other parts of the world. So we have this common human history. Okay, so you can write down the red stuff here. UNESCO identifies and protects both natural and cultural sites that we consider to be part of our common human heritage, right? So we have different parts of the world, these different sites, these different locations around the world that are just really important places, right? Really important spots that really show that humans are an interesting species, right? And these sites are, meant to be part of our common human heritage, part of our history as humans, right? So we have a few in Canada, right? We even have a couple in Alberta, right? So maybe you guys have been to Dinosaur Provincial Park. It's not too far, right? At some point, if you ever get the chance, I recommend going to Dinosaur Provincial Park. It's a really cool place. It's best to go there in the summertime. But this is one of the best places in the world to find fossils for dinosaurs, right? So there have been hundreds of dinosaur species that they have found, of course, just the fossils of those dinosaurs in this valley, right? And for that reason, it's a very important place for humans, right? Another UNESCO World Heritage Site that we have here in Alberta is the head smashed in buffalo jump, right? So buffalo jumps, just like this one, have been used for thousands of years by the indigenous peoples of the plains. And so it was used to sort of corral buffaloes or bisons so that they would be pushed over to the edges of this cliff, right, or other cliffs just like this one. And then a stampede would be created. They would scare the buffalo or scare the bison into running and pushing each other off of this cliff. And then the indigenous peoples could come around the cliff, and then they could finish their hunt of the buffalo or the bison after they had fallen off of this cliff and broken bones or even died. Right, another World Heritage Site that we have in Canada is in Eastern Canada, or I guess some people would call this Central Canada, and that is in Old Quebec. Right, so Quebec City, it was founded way back in the 1600s. So it's one of the very first European settlements in the Americas, and for that reason, it's an important place for our human history. Right, you guys learned in Social 10 the importance of people from Europe coming over to the Americas and establishing settlements here, right? And it really changed the course of history, in many, many big ways. And for that reason, this settlement is a part of our human history. And so UNESCO protects these sites, right? So all of these sites, right, whether it's Old Quebec, the head smashed in buffalo jump, or Dinosaur Provincial Park, these are protected sites. So that means that, you can't just go and build a house in the middle of Dinosaur Provincial Park. No, because the United Nations protects this site. You can't go and start drilling for oil right in the middle of the Dinosaur Provincial Park because UNESCO protects this site. We've decided that these sites are too important to our human history that we can't just go and destroy them. We must preserve them and protect them so that we can learn from them. Okay, so today, here is your assignment. You must choose a World Heritage Site that exists in some part of the world. Okay, so you must go to the website. So go back to D2L. Once you're done this video, go back to D2L, click on the UNESCO World Heritage Site website, and what's going to appear is a map of the world, and there's all these little pins dropped in different parts of the world. Just choose one location of the world, choose one World Heritage Site that you find interesting, and then answer these questions in the Google form. Okay, so the link to the Google form is also in D2L, right? So you watch this video, and then you go to the UNESCO World Heritage Site website, and then the third thing you do is go to the Google form and answer these questions about the World Heritage Site that you chose. Okay, so here are the questions that you're going to answer in the Google form. Okay, what is the name of the site you chose? Okay, so just type in the name. Where is this site located? So you can Mention, the name of the continent or the name of the country where this site is located, and then describe the site's origins. So some of these sites are natural, and some of them were made by humans. So you're going to answer one of these two, either the natural one or the made by humans one. Okay, so if it's a natural site, well, then describe the landscape of this site, right? Is it filled with vegetation? Is it filled with animals, right? So explain, what this natural site is all about, right? And then next, if it's a human-made site, well, then who built it and when did they build it? Why did they build it? What did they use it for, right? So describe this site in some way. And then number 4 is, why is this site protected? Why does UNESCO decide that they want to protect this site? Why is it an important part of our human history? And then your opinion. Do you think it should be protected? Do you think it's important to protect this site? Give reasons why, or give reasons why not. Okay, so that's all you need to do today. Okay, so if you finish watching this video, and then if you go to the website, and then if you fill out the Google form, then you will be finished for today. But get them all done today. Okay, and as always, if you have any questions, send me an email or come back during period 1 and ask me questions on Zoom. All right, have a good day.